Right, so I went to Northeast Retro Gaming event yesterday on Saturday the 6th of July, and apparently this is the final one. I'm not sure why, but it's a shame. I just entered into the big Gateshead Stadium here, looked around and thought, oh my god, there's loads of people. I hope there's some stuff left. So I had a quick look, so I usually go just to the left really and have a look down. So had a look at this one, was more like toys, pin badges, plushies there. But they did have some pretty cool prints here. And I really like this Super Mario one in The Thing, which I've mentioned before is one of my favourite films of all time. Had some pretty cool badges and stuff. And then I nearly got walked over by this Bumblebee costume bloke. I mean, I'm not very tall. He must have been about 9 feet tall, and I thought he was going to flatten us. So I thought, let's have a look where the pints are. There they are on the left. But then I seen Time Crisis and I was like, yep, let's have a butcher's here instead. So I thought, let's have a look at the arcades down this section. And these are more of the higher grade ones because you've got the Outrun machine here. And there's this cool, it's called Afterburner, I think it is. Let's say there's Virtual Racing, Time Crisis, and some Neo Geo ones down there as well, which is pretty good. All of the classic like late 90s machines. There's a Crazy Taxi, Mortal Kombat and stuff. And then I walked through into this section where it was more arcade machines, but this was more of the older type. So you've got like the old 80s and 70s like Donkey Kong, Asteroid, some of the stuff like that. Sega Rally there, it's pretty decent. And then I thought, oh, where is he? Let's have a butcher's at Bumblebee again, because he was massive, and I was like, fair play, whoever's in there, like, I mean, pretty sweet costume. So I had a quick look at the next stall here, because those two aisles were basically just arcades. Pretty cool umbrella badge from Resident Evil, one of my top franchises. And had all these, like, them neck strappy things for, like, an office badge. Like a lanyard thing. Some of your classic pops and stuff. I seen behind the Retro Mania stall here was this N64 for 150 quid, which was decent. And a couple of loose stuff. So I went over at this first one. I'm pretty sure this was Sore Thumb's gaming stall. And they've got a shop in York. So they had quite a lot of stuff. Now this one's really good for Japanese games, but I have absolutely no idea about Japanese stuff, so I totally avoid that. I had quite a good Wii U section there, Mega Drive here, loads of loose NES stuff. All the good stuff, like as usual, is at the back, you know, on those little game holder, little shelving things that they all have. So, pretty good selection here, to be fair. Sometimes they bring like some really good stuff, sometimes it's mainly Japanese stuff, so. And then, I think I went over the next one. There was quite a lot of Xbox ones. I really like the look of this guide. Like, obviously, if you've been following the channel, I'm really into game guides. And kind of keeping the old books from back in the day in like pristine condition. So, I had quite a lot of good Xbox games here, and I'm collecting for Xbox quite a bit. But didn't pick anything up from this one. I had a little look over here to the left. And then there was some pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Actually, here's a good one. So, just as a side mission here, I got, what's it, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 or something on the Game Boy Advance. And there was no game in it. So, during this, you'll see us frantically searching through loose Game Boy Advance carts to see if I can find it. So, keep watching and see if I do. This guy had some pretty cool artwork, and I thought this Superman and Batman one was well cool. Like, they double next to each other. If I had the space, I probably would have got that, because both of those are quality, especially the Batman one, to be fair. And then we'll go down to this one here, and this guy had some game guides, which is pretty decent. So there's quite a few here, but not really. I mean, they were good condition, but there wasn't really any like mainstream ones. So there was like no Grand Theft Auto or Mario or Zelda or anything like that. It was all just kind of like bog standard Prima ones. I mean, you know, Midnight Club there, Test Drive. But I did pick one of them up, which have a look at the end, and you'll see which one I got. But I'm probably going to give it away here, because I'll pick it up right here. But yeah, I thought this one was pretty good. So I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront, so I'll show you that later. And this guy, actually, I don't know what this stall was called, it just seemed to be like an independent one. And then I seen this weird thing which looked like a penis, but I think it was a sandworm from Dune. Keep us right in the comments. And then next door to him, there was this stall who had loads of your classic tubs full of PS1 games. You always see loads of PS1 and PS2 games everywhere, and ironically, I don't collect for PS1 or PS2. Here we go, I'm back on the Puzzle Fighter mission, having a look through the GBA games. But yeah, I'm going to start collecting for PS1 at some point, probably this year, because I did own a PS1 and I had a lot of titles. And that's where, obviously, I had Resident Evil and stuff like that and all those classics. But I'm not going to start it yet, so I'm too busy focusing on Nintendo and stuff. So yeah, like I say, loads of PS2 games, as always. Plushies everywhere for the kids. I didn't bring my son George here, who I normally bring. So I was just on my own. GameCube titles. So there was very few GameCube titles or GameCube sort of base sellers at the event, which was really disappointing, as obviously I am going for a full GameCube set. Some quite good Mega Drive games here though. Again, more PlayStation stuff. Pretty well sort of organised out. Double Dragon here, I mean, that's a classic, to be fair, do you know what I mean? And the classic cardboard box of like a bigger box. This N64, so actually this is probably one of two people who were selling N64 games, which was a real shame. This Micro Machines was in decent condition, and then I think I pull out Shadow Man here, but that was a bit rough. I probably would have picked both of those up, but N64 is just down, like way down in terms of priority for collecting, as I didn't have many back in the day, and most of them I have now. So I seen some obviously NES games. Oh, and again, I'm looking through the Game Boy games, looking for Puzzle Fighter 2, and it's just titles all over. Although there was a random Pokemon here, 35 quid it was. Yeah, I don't know if that's any good. Just for the cartridge, Pokemon games just seem to be going up in price like crazy, month on month. But I think this was Forgotten Worlds. I just remember that Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and he had Star Wars there, which he's had for ages. That's that guy up in, is it Glasgow? I'm sure people will know about it. Let us know if you've been up there, because I would love to go, but from Newcastle, obviously, it's a bit of a trek. I think I clocked it on Google Maps at about a 4-hour round trip. So that's a bit naughty. But I picked up this Martians game there, which I'd not seen before, and I definitely don't have it. But I didn't get it in the end. I seen this guy was selling loads of big box consoles, and he had this classic Super Nintendo one, where it has the open box, where the shops would just put a random display game in there. Now that is like a real bit of a grail in the SNES community. But I haven't got the space for a SNES, like a big box at the moment. It's just too big. Turtles though, pretty good on the arcade, like, so that was decent. And then he had loads of big box thingies there, like Commodore 64, Atari ST, stuff like that. So then you've got all the classic consoles and stuff set up here. And I absolutely battered some poor bloke on Soul Calibur later. I'll tell that story in a bit. I seen this awesome pinball Spinal Tap machine, and I think this is custom made, because I don't remember this ever. And I'm sure on this banner it says like, oh yeah, we can build it for you. But then I headed over to probably one of the main stalls that I was looking forward to as usual. So that retro game store, who I've kind of got to know the owner a bit over the last 2-3 years. And Kevin is the guy who owns it, and he's proper sound. That he's got loads of Mega Drive, Master System. He's always got loads of stuff in. He has probably the tiniest shop in Newcastle, But he has all this stuff like hidden away, and he's got some really good stuff. Like he's a sound bloke to talk to. He had loads of Xbox games and some good GameCube games there as well. And I definitely come and revisit him later on, which I'll tell you about in the pickup section at the end. And he's usually sound as well. He lets us go behind the stall and check out the NES games, because he's a massive NES collector and all of his stuff is in really good condition. I've bought a load of my NES collection off of him. In fact, I may have bought about 95% of them off of him. So I just had a little bit of footage here of Soul Calibur at the end. And I just wanted to tell you here. So basically, I went to play Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast, which I used to be an absolute pro at. And some guy, this guy here, comes and sits next to us. He's wearing a COVID mask. Now, fair dues, mate, if you're watching this video, you know, gives a shout out. But facts is facts. I absolutely battered him like 11-0, and I switch character every single time as well. And unfortunately for him, I do still remember all the moves from every single character on Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. So sorry, mate, if I ruined your day, but I was trying not to gloat too much. I think he won about 3 rounds out of 24 or something like that. But yeah, so I head over into the pinball section here, just to kind of go through, and there's loads of these pinball machines, and they're so cool with all the lights and stuff. It does take us back a little bit of when my dad used to play pinball machines. This one here in particular, the Shadow. So this actually used to be my favourite film, like when I was 10 or 11, with, I'm pretty sure it was Eric Baldwin, or one of the Baldwins anyways, but I used to love that film. It was absolutely class. I don't know if you remember it, but it had that little knife with a weird face. I'll see if I can put a picture on it. But yeah, anyways, so I was in the pinball section. So then I headed over to like the 80s arcade bits. Let's say I've got the old school Defender, Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man actually. Didn't know about Super Pac-Man. There was a Donkey Kong Jr., all them classic ones. Nice to see the little kids playing the original ones instead of your FIFA and your CODs and that. So just had a quick look around, had a couple of goes on some stuff, and then I think I've seen a good one, RoboCop here, which I played through a couple of levels, and I've got a mate who's been literally telling us about RoboCop versus Terminator on the Mega Drive for so long now. Like, I'm sick of him talking about it. Sorry, mate, if you're listening. And then I found a Final Fight, which is one of my all-time favourite games on the Super Nintendo. Absolutely blasted through this for 20 minutes, so apologies to anybody waiting behind us, but, you know, I couldn't really give up the chance of playing it on coin-op. Here I am playing it with one hand, which, to be fair, I did quite well, given I'm using one hand. But yeah, love playing that. I could have easily stayed for about an hour and finished this. So yeah, that was awesome. And then I went and bumped into a guy called Chris, who had a load of 3DO stuff, and you never see 3DO. I've got quite a good 3DO collection, because I remember that from when my dad had it, and then I got the FZ10, which I actually show in a minute. And he's got some really good 3DO games here, and to be fair, I was looking for him for ages, and I couldn't find him, and then I found him at the end, but I had literally spent quite a bit of money, but I did want that Primal Rage. And to be fair, I do want that FZ10 as well. So then at the end, I just thought, hello, here's Bumblebee waiting to get a burger in line. How often do you see that? Not very often. So let's go and head over to the pickup section now, where I'll show you what I got. Right, hello. So welcome to the pickup section of the Northeast Retro Gaming Convention, and this is what I've got. So we'll jump straight into it, and we're going to start off with Black on the Xbox. Now, I never played this one, but from the back of Black, it looks pretty good. So we'll put that one over there in the collection. Next up, we've got Star Wars Republic Commando. Star Wars game, £4, easy pickup. Whoa, this was a good one. Street Fighter Anniversary Collection was £14, and apparently It's got Street Fighter 2 the animated movie in it, which was pretty quality, to be fair. Oh, I've wanted this one for a while. Dead or Alive Ultimate. Now I love Dead or Alive, especially Dead or Alive 2 on the Dreamcast. I think it's one of the best beat 'em ups, especially when the slower beat 'em ups were out, like Tekken. But was happy with that one. Got this weird one. Outlaw Volleyball. Never heard of this, but to be fair, I thought the box art looked cool. I mean, it's complete, and it was a $5, so who knows? Might try it out. Probably won't though. Midnight Club 2. Again, £4. Really clean box. Fully complete. No brainer pickup. I picked this one up because I thought the name was hilarious. I was literally creased up reading it. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. No idea, never heard of it, but it says from the creators of Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie, which are 2 classics. It's got a funny name and it's got good box art, and it was only £8, so I thought, balls to it, literally, or ghoulies to it, I'm getting it. Straight in there. And then last, that was after this one for a while, Thief Deadly Shadows on the Xbox. Now I did play the original Thief on PC, never played the ones on the console, but again it was in complete condition, the box is really clean, and it was only a $5, so why the hell not? So that was the Xbox titles there, so pick those ones up. So then we'll go over to the GameCube titles, which again, fodder titles. The Sims for £6. Again, complete. All the games that I get are complete, other than that Puzzle Fighter I won that one time. You've got Gun for a £10. This one looks quite good. Actually, I should be putting them there in the GameCube section, but let's put them there for now. Hopefully it doesn't crank me OCD off. And then Zoo Cube, £4. I mean, the box isn't great, but it's a fodder title, it's complete, it's £4. You know, it's the price of a Big Mac. What are you gonna do? Can't complain about that. So that was the cheapy ones that I got there, which was pretty good. Really happy with that. So now we'll go into the bigger ones now. So as you might have seen in the video from Kevin, that Retro Game Shop, I picked up some NES games. So I picked up this first one, so Roller Games on the NES. Now I won't highlight it yet, but stick with it and you'll see the theme. So Roller Games. Then I got Track and Field 2. So that was £20. And again from Kevin, you're kind of expecting good quality on it, and it is, to be fair, so champion. And then these two big hitters, so I got Turtles 2 the arcade game. So again, don't know if you've picked up on the theme yet, but I'm kind of going for the subset of the Konami Silver Box NES games. Now I'm already doing it on the SNES, I'm not sure if you can see it down there, but I've already got 6 of those games already, and I only need about 2 or 3 left. So I've decided I'm going to go for the Konami games on the NES, so all the Silver Box games. So I might not necessarily want the game, because personally I don't really want Track and Field 2, but I want the subset of these games. So pick this one up, Turtles classic game, and to be fair, it's a port of the arcade game, which from what I've seen on long plays and stuff on YouTube is quite good, so really happy with that. And then the big boy here, Probotector, again Konami Silver game, and actually I've been playing Super Probotector on my sister channel Retroverse Plays last week actually, which you could see videos on my TikTok channel, which I'll put a link in the description for you for that. But that one again, I mean, the box, absolute quality, can't really complain at that. I mean, I did pay a pretty good price for it, but again, the higher price you're going for, you're going based on condition. I mean, you've got here, cartridge out, so, and again, as I would expect from anything that I get from Kevin Reedy, it's complete. And I bet you it's even got, oh yeah, I don't know if you can see in there, it's got your classic NERG polystyrene. I mean, when did collecting polystyrene become a thing? I'm sure the price will only go up when they ban polystyrene for the environment or whatever. But yeah, really happy with that. And actually I've got one last item, which I'll tell you about in a second. So those titles there, they go with my already 2 games, which is Castlevania on the NES, again, another silver Konami box one. And the other one that I have is Top Gun Second Mission, again, another Konami silver box. So, not sure if you can see it too well there, but now I've got 6 of the titles there, so really happy with them. I've got, funny enough, I've got box protectors as well, which is always nice, because that always saves you money for those games. And the last thing that I got, other than a NERG beer mat, thanks very much, was that Star Wars Battlefront guide. Now that goes nicely with my copy of Star Wars Battlefront. So I do usually like to try and match up the game with a guide, and I've got a hell of a lot of guides now at the moment, so paid £8 for that, and it's in really good condition, to be fair. To be fair, it might be gradable, but that goes with Star Wars Battlefront as well there. So overall, I really enjoyed the event, got a lot of pickups there, really happy with that. It's a shame it's going to be the last one, I'm not really sure why, but I'm sure there's other ones, there's like Nerdfest and stuff up here. If you're from the northeast and you know of any events, give us a shout. If you do ever see us at them, look out for the red hat, because I usually wear that when I go around and I like to see myself on other people's clips. And I'm sure this red hat will be giving that Soul Calibur guy nightmares for the next couple of weeks. But if you are there and you did play us at Soul Calibur, give us a shout. If you want to have a rematch or you want to practice, give us a shout, and I'm sure we can hook it up. But just letting you know, I am the pro at it. So I'll check you out in the next video, guys. Thanks very much.